Much going on in Washington right now. Hundreds of thousands still out of work as the government shutdown continues. Congress has yet to address another deadline coming up in 8 days, raising the debt ceiling. So CBS 6's Tracy Sears sat down with President Obama today to talk about those issues, and she took some of your questions with her. She is live in Washington now with the president's answers. Tracy?
Good evening, Julie. Yeah, there is a lot at stake here in Virginia when it comes to this government shutdown. Not only do we have 144,000 government workers who work right here in the Commonwealth, but there's also several contractors who also rely on the government. The president tells me for each day that this shutdown goes on, there is a lack of funding for critical programs that go toward the Commonwealth. Child care for working families, meals for seniors, unemployment benefits. But the president says he is not going to sit down and negotiate with Republicans while they hold the budget hostage. He says over health care reform. He says turn the lights back on in the government, raise the debt ceiling, avoid that October 17th default. Then he says he'll talk budget talks, and then he will talk about health care. But when I spoke to the House Majority Leader Eric Cantor earlier today, he said, look, we've been trying to sit down and talk deficit reduction and health care reform for 2 years with this president. He says he wants an additional $1 trillion in debt, and Cantor said Americans and Virginian families simply can't afford that right now. Here's an excerpt from both of their interviews earlier today.
What I've said is I'm happy to negotiate, and Democrats have shown themselves happy to negotiate on any issue, but you can't threaten to shut down the government as a means of getting leverage in negotiations. You've got to take that off the table.
All we're saying is don't tax people. The businesses have been granted a waiver of the tax. We ought not be taxing people while this program is getting up and running because it's just not ready.
Now, the president has invited to the White House today party caucuses from both the House and the Senate. He's meeting behind closed doors with them right now, hoping some progress can be made. But I can tell you the vibe that I'm getting here at the White House is that no one is holding their breath. Reporting live in Washington, D.C., Tracy Sears. Now back to you.